communication that edifies. There's some communication that we speak that does not edify. And then we have other kind of communication that edifies and lifts us up and gives us an understanding, that encourages us, that causes us to walk in truth, to walk in love, and to walk in His power. So we need to understand the various different types of communication, and we want to focus on communication that edifies. Now, I was a young man, still am, that used to play the dozens, you know. Your mama's so fat. Your mama's, you know, the dozen, right? And those things are fun. Those things were something that we loved to do growing up as children. Yeah. Until I started teaching in the school, and I started seeing the effects of that kind of speech and that kind of language when children would sort of pull me over to the side, and they would tell me that some of the jokes that person was saying, it wasn't fun, it wasn't cute, because those were actual real situations that were going on in their life, and people would be talking about them in the dozens and the jokes. It wasn't like it was when we were growing up, but this new generation, they really saying the stuff that's the truth, like painful. Your mama is this, you know, and truth, you know, so to speak, their mother's really that, you know. It wasn't like making something up or whatever about your mother to be funny, but it was literally, this is what it was, you know. And they would share things with their friends, and then the friends would use that as a joke or a thing against them. And I began to understand, as I began to counsel children and talk to children, that these things affect them, not only in their life as children, but it can affect them even as adults today. There's a lot of adults that suffer from different words that have been spoken in their life that they just was not able to get over. Are y'all hearing that?
Yes.
Now, you can look straight ahead at me if you want to and act like I'm tough. I can handle whatever word that don't bother me. Yeah. But when you are by yourself, when you are reflecting, and when you are thinking, those words that were said that was and done in a mean spirit, those words that was done in a way that wasn't edifying to you, can cause you a whole lot of different things in your mind and in your heart and in your soul. I remember doing a presentation once. Well, I wasn't doing a presentation, it was somebody else doing the presentation, and they were showing the class how negative words impact people, how negative words impact people. And of course, they used me as the illustration. So I came up and I was holding something up. I don't know what it was. It was something that I could easily lift up and hold in my hand. And I was lifting it up. It was a little heavy, but not that heavy. And the person was speaking positive words. As a matter of fact, the class was speaking positive words to me. And I was, holding it up. Like, yeah, that's right. And it was saying how wonderful I was. And I was like, yeah, that's right, that's right. And then he said, okay, now start talking negative words about him. And then they started talking negative words, and instantly my arm dropped the thing.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
I was like, man, you gonna say that? But I know it was an experiment, but even in the experiment, my hand dropped. Mm-hmm. And I said, wow. And he was like, see, that's what happens when we communicate with each other in the wrong way. It has an effect on you, whether you believe it, know it, understand it, or not. So today, Brother Walter, we're going to talk about communication that edifies. Y'all ready?
Yes.
All right. I need a reader. Was this the mic you used last time? Oh, I see why you didn't use this one. Uh-oh. Let's see this one. Test it. You got to turn this one. Test it, one, two. Yeah, you got to turn that one on. All right, so the orange microphone is for the readers. Everybody remember that, okay? And I ain't got to go through all of these shenanigans. Yellow is just speaking of testimony, and the black one is for singing worship. We'll get the yellow one. Somebody doing a solo. All right, we ready? All right, do a test of 1, 2.
Testing.
Test of 1, 2, 3. Come on.
1, 2,
Give us some volume on that.
4, 5.
Come on, turn up.
Testing. Mic check.
Give us some more. Give us some more.
Hello.
All right.
Check.
Yeah, you guys can test 1, 2.
Check 1, 2, 1.
Sucker MCs, right? That's our name. I might sound nice. Check 1, right?
I was trying that.
Microphone control.
Man, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Right. You remember that mic sound? Your mind right there, isn't it? Back to breakdancing, right?
You been in trouble ever since you crossed?
Let me give y'all the feast days. These are the feast days.
Hallelujah.
Okay? A lot of people don't understand. They always say there's 7 feast days. There's only really 5 feast days. All right? They're not 7. Even though it may seem like, as you're reading Leviticus chapter 23, that there's 7, it's really 5. Okay? Pesach and unleavened bread are one and the same feast. Okay? Pesach and unleavened bread, and it's March 31st. Okay? Shavuot and first fruit. Shavuot and first fruit are together. And that's May 20th. Okay? And then we got Sabbaton, or Sabbaton. That's September the 10th. Remember, we always talk about the memorial blowing the trumpet. And last year we learned that it's not really blowing the trumpet, but it's really what? Look, nobody remember from last year. Ain't that something? Remember what I said about the trumpet? It's not blowing the trumpet. It's really the what? The shout.
Oh, right. The noise.
It's right. It's a shout. So this is a Sabbath day, remembering the shout.
Making loud noise.
It's about the shout. It's not about blowing the shofar. It's about the shout, your voice. And this is a Sabbath day to remember that. All right? Remember what happened. That's September the 10th. And then we have Yom Kippur, one of the holiest times for the Hebrew Israelites, September 19th. And then we have Sukkot, September 24th. All right? So those are the feast days, so you can govern yourselves accordingly. One thing I love about the things that we celebrate, it all has to do with the Most High. Everything that we celebrate, it don't have nothing to do with paganism. It ain't got nothing to do with the devil. But everything that we celebrate all has to do with the Most High Yah. Pesach, unleavened bread, Yeshua was our Passover. That's what Pesach is, Passover. He was the lamb that was offered up, that was slain, and he was without sin. That's what unleavened is or means. Shavuot has to do with the fire that came down on the day of Pentecost. Shavuot was the day also when the children of Israel were before the mountain. The fire of Yahweh fell, and he began to speak to the children of Israel, and he gave them the commandments. He gave them the commandments. So that fire came down. First fruit, dealing with Yeshua being the firstborn of many brethren, also dealing with being Israel, being his firstborn, first fruit. All right? Memorial blowing the trumpet, we just talked about that. That deals with the shout, the voice, lifting up your voice like a trumpet in Zion, and remembering the horns that was blowing when we were coming out of slavery. Yom Kippur is dealing with atonement, because every day the priest had to atone every year. Once a year, the priests atoned for the sins of Israel. And then Sukkot, they also spent times in booths when they were in the wilderness. And it was a temporary dwelling place for Israel. So Sukkot reminds us and lets us know that this things that we deal with in this life are temporary. All right? So they would dwell in a temporary booth, a temporary location. But also the Sukkot has a whole lot to do with us tabernacling with Yeshua forever. Hallelujah. And what a great day that's going to be, ain't it? Yes. Hallelujah. Because he's already with us in our heart. But my God, we'll be here in the flesh too. We're going to have a good, great, wonderful time, aren't we?
Hallelujah.
All right? So those are the feast days and those are the dates. Everybody got those written down?
Yes.
All right. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5. What did it say?
Ye are all the children of light.
How many people believe that you are children of light and not the children of darkness?
Yes.
All right? You are the children of the light. Come on.
And the children of the day.
So that means you ought to operate and live and function like that. Function like you are the children of the light and not children of the darkness. Okay? You're children of light and children of the day. In other words, you have knowledge. You have understanding on the way you ought to function. You have his Torah, which is the pointing in the direction of the way of righteousness. And you ought to act like, or behave, not act, behave as such. Come on.
We are not of the night, nor of darkness.
So you need to know you're not of the night and you're not of darkness. Come on.
Therefore, let us not sleep as do others.
See, other people are asleep in this world. And the reason why they're asleep for a whole lot of reasons. A lot of them, Satan has had the ability to lull the whole entire world into sleep and slumber. And they're not aware. That's what sleep has to do. It deals with a whole lot of not being aware of something. They're asleep. You know? Has anybody been asleep on something and then you wasn't aware of what was going on around you? Can you be aware when you sleep?
Not really.
All right? If your eyes are closed and you sleep, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening. I remember my brother went to sleep and left some hot dogs on the stove. What do y'all think happened to them hot dogs once he realized that, you know they did? The smoke alarm went off, house full of smoke. Water boiled completely out of it. So those are the things that happen when you're not aware of what's happening and what's going on. So this verse is telling us, let us not sleep as others do. Come on.
But let us watch and be sober.
Let us watch and be sober. When we're praying, somebody needs to have their eyes open. The Bible says watch and pray. I remember going over to the projects over there, and we were doing soul winning. And we would go door to door. I was young then, boy. We was going preaching out there, going door to door. And everybody in the group, in the projects, doing this with their eyes closed, head bowed, all involved in the prayer. Then one of the sisters opened up her eyes, and her purse was gone.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And she started showing us what a saint she wasn't. Because after she got through cussing and swearing and saying, what these so-and-sos and so-and-so, and I didn't come over here and pray, and then I got my so-and-so person. That's not, I'm going with this so-and-so, because this so-and-so stuff don't make no so-and-so sense. Wow. I can't believe I came all the way over to this so-and-so place. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, that's why we watch and pray. All right? Even when we're in here, and if Brother Emmanuel's up praying, there should always be somebody at that door. Always somebody at that door. If you see the door ain't got nobody to it, one of you young brothers, anybody, the brothers, be aware that somebody always need to be looking at that door, paying attention to that door. All right? Y'all hear that? All right? Just for security's sake. We need to always have somebody on the door, manning the door at all times. All right? So we have to be watchful and we have to be sober.
Yeah.
All right? Come on.
For they that sleep, sleep in the night. And they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
Come on.
But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation.
So it's telling you, the ones that sleep, they sleeping at night. But not now. These folks are sleeping right in the daytime.
Yes.
And people that think they're awake ain't really. Have you ever been driving a car at night or driving the car when you're real tired, whether it's day or night, and you don't realize you done drifted off until you come to yourself and like, oh, I almost went off on the side of the road. My God, I didn't even know I was asleep.
Yeah.
Been there, mother? Yeah. You didn't even realize it. You was driving, your eyes was open.
Yeah.
And you thought you was up. But your eyes are open and you really sleep. And all of a sudden the car just started going over and you come to yourself, oh,
Really?
man, how did I get home that night? All right, so we have to be sober. Everybody say, be sober.
Be sober.
We got to be sober. And we got to put on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. Because none of us truly know if we got salvation, so we need to hope for it.
Yes.
Because we have to endure for a little while to the end. So we always have a hope for salvation. And salvation is deliverance. See, you can be spiritually delivered, but we ain't physically delivered just yet. So we have to hope for that. All right? Come on.
For Yah has not appointed us to wrath,
Yah hasn't appointed his people to wrath. Come on.
but to obtain salvation by our Master Yeshua HaMashiach,
But we're going to obtain it through Yeshua. Come on.
who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him.
Ain't that beautiful? Whether you're awake or whether you sleep. This means if you passed on or if you are alive in the world, then, hey, you're going to live together with him. Ain't that a beautiful understanding? Okay? Here we go. Come on.
Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another.
So that's what we're supposed to be doing. In the meantime, as we're serving the Father, we should be comforting one another and we should be edifying one another. But what we see is just the opposite. We try to tear each other down and we try to bring each other down by any means necessary. And people think that by bringing somebody else down, that they're actually building up the kingdom of Yah. You see the kind of twisted and warped thinking? They think because they're rebuking or trying to correct somebody or trying to bring somebody down, that that's actually bringing about edification, and it's not. Y'all hear that?
Yes.
So we should be comforting one another and we should be edifying one another. Yes, there's a place and a time and a place for rebuke. But there's also a time and place for comfort and edification too.
Hallelujah.
So y'all beware of people who only want to rebuke all the time. They want to only have a hard word, but there's never a word of comfort and edification. You got to have a balance. Somebody say you got to have a balance. See, some people, boy, they want to rebuke and rebuke and rebuke over the pulpit too. Just rebuke it. Rebuke it. Devil. You all wicked folks. Wicked. You just. That's all they want to do is bark. It sounds like little dogs barking. All they want to do is rebuke. And I notice most people that want to rebuke all the time, they got a whole lot of insecurity, a whole lot of sin and transgressions in their own life that they're dealing with. And they're preaching to themselves. They're rebuking themselves while they're rebuking you. That's really what they need to be saying to themselves. Because one of the main things that a lot of people are under is self-deception. Y'all hearing that? Self-deception is being a fraud in Hebrew. That's what the word self-deception is in Hebrew. It's fraud. Committing fraud. Y'all hearing it?
Yes, sir.
Instead of spending time comforting one another, edifying, they just in a rebuking mode. They go months and months and years just rebuking, just to see what they can say. And it's not a rebuke that's going to actually change nobody. All it's going to do is get a lot of people upset, a lot of people angry, make them put a lot of pressure, undue pressure on people. And people check out because of that too. Y'all hearing that? So we got to have a balance here. You know, hey, if I come and rebuke you, I'm going to rebuke you in love. Y'all hearing that? Because there's a way to do everything.
Yes.
And one person's way is not everybody's way. See, the Bible says that there are many gifts, but guess what? It's only one Spirit. There's many different administrations, but there's one Spirit that's coming out of. So whether you're rebuking, comforting, edifying, teaching, you still should do it in the same Spirit. You shouldn't have a spirit of malice or slander or just a spirit of just anger. I'm rebuking because I don't like you. I'm rebuking you. No, you ain't rebuking me in love. You ain't trying to bring the best out of me. You want to try to pull on my flesh to get me to react or respond in a different way. But guess what? I'm not going to do. I'm not going to allow you to, because of your rebuke and because of your words, they ain't got no power. Y'all hear that? So y'all have to be careful of people that want to rebuke all the time, but they never want to spend time comforting and edifying you. And then some people get so used of being torn down till they think being torn down is edifying and comfort. Ain't that something? Like an abusive relationship. You've been called out of your name so much till you really think that's your name. Are y'all hearing that? There's women all over the world that's been abusing relationships. They've been called out of their name so much till they think that's their name. What happens when you get used to being abused and mistreated? And then somebody else come along and try to, hey, we ain't like that no more. We ain't doing that. I'm trying to build you up, and they can't even receive it because they've been in a relationship that is all jacked up. So now everybody else that comes along with a different administration, they don't know how to receive it. Some people don't know how to receive love. Some people don't know how to receive edification and comfort. Some people just don't know how to do it. Y'all hearing it? But we got to be balanced. All right? Psalms 31:5. What it say?
I will exalt thee, O Yahweh, for thou hast lifted me up.
See? The Father, I will extol thee, O Yah, for thou hast lifted me up. See, the Father ain't trying to just bring you down and stomp on you. Right. He's trying to lift you up.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We already been beat down. We just look at what's going on. Look at the situation and the condition we're in. We're already down. The Father's trying to lift us up out of the downness. Come on. He lifted me up. Come on.
And has not made my foes to rejoice over me.
He ain't made your enemies to rejoice over you. Come on.
O Yahweh, my Elohim, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me.
I cried, and he has healed me. Hallelujah. And that's what most of us need. We need some healing going on. Yes. A lot of healing. Come on.
O Yahweh, thou hast brought up my soul.
See, he ain't trying to bring your soul down. He's trying to bring your soul up.
Yes.
See, our problem is we've been down so long, we don't know how to think up no more. Yeah. We just so busy thinking down. We just want to focus on the curses only. Well, why don't you focus on obeying the Father so you can start focusing on the blessings? Because there is something going to happen when you obey. When you are willing and obedient, he said you're going to eat the good of the land. How many people want to eat the good of the land? Hallelujah. I do too. Yes. So the Father is bringing up my soul. Come on.
From the grave.
From the grave. See how what's been going on all this time? We've been in the grave and don't even realize it. But he's going to bring our souls up from the grave. Come on.
Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit.
So he has to keep you alive so you won't go down to the pit. Come on, what it say?
Sing unto Yahweh, O ye saints of his.
Anybody a saint of his?
Yes.
So he's talking to you. Come on, saint of his.
And give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness.
Give thanks at the remembrance of him being set apart. Because if he's set apart, you have to be set apart. You have to be set apart too. Without holiness, no man shall see Yah. And the word holy means to be set apart. Come on.
For his anger endures but a moment.
Y'all hearing it? His anger is not going to last forever. His anger endures but a moment. Come on.
In his favor is life.
In his favor is life. So I want to be in Yahweh's favor. Because if I'm in his favor, then I'm going to ultimately be in life. Come on.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
See, most people want to stay with weeping. They just want to be in sackcloth and ashes. They want to take all the feast days and take all the joy out of them and just be weeping and I'm just a wretch. They want you to live in weeping.
Yeah.
Just live and just being miserable because they're miserable. Are y'all hearing that?
Yes.
Misery loves company. But this says weeping may endure for a night, but you got something to look forward to. Joy is coming in the morning. I am not a pessimistic person whatsoever at all. I'm not pessimistic. And some people are just pessimistic about everything. I mean, when I'm optimistic, but I'm not overly optimistic to where I don't see, hey, there's some dangers here. I'm balanced. Everybody say balance. See, some people can be so pessimistic that they see the devil under every rug, behind every corner, under every keyboard. It's a devil. Oh, they got the spirit of this. Oh, yeah, she got the spirit of this. Oh, yeah, that brother, he definitely got the spirit of this. Oh, they got the spirit of this. Oh, they got the spirit of this. It's a devil. There's a devil on it. Oh, I don't even want to be around. There's a devil. A devil under everything. Devil under the wig. Devil under the rug. Devil under the skirt. It's just a devil everywhere. Are y'all hearing that?
Yeah.
But they can never see the devil in themselves. Ain't that something else?
Okay.
But there's always a devil in you. But there's never a devil in themselves. And again, we have to be balanced. Weeping may endure for a night, but there is some joy coming. Are y'all hearing this? See, I talk about the trial of faith and the reward of faith. Some people, you go through situations where it seems like everything goes wrong. You know, once you get this, there's a leak over there. And you put your foot on the leak and stop that. Then all of a sudden, something happens to your children. It's good. Now you got to run over here and take care of this. And then you something break down over here. Then you got to run over there and do that. And you're in a cycle where you're in a trial of faith. You're going back from every time one thing goes wrong, everything you fix and get sort of together, all of a sudden 4 more things break out, and it causes you to be like, am I ever gonna come out of this cycle? And then the person over here, they're in the reward of faith, and they're looking at you saying, weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. All you got to do, sister and brother, is just keep praying and believing, because he's going to do a good thing in you. And man, everything is going right with me. I'm getting blessed on every side. Checks in the mail, surprise checks. I didn't even know I was getting this. And I go to the mailbox, wow. And the person that's in the reward of faith, a lot of times they forget that they was just in the trial of faith. So they look down on everybody that's going through something.
Right.
Not knowing that these two people are getting ready to switch places. Now the reward of faith is going over to the trial of faith, and the one that was in the trial of faith is coming over to the reward of faith.
Yes.
Are y'all hearing this?
Okay.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. And just like there is day, and just like there is night, there's going to be tests, and there's going to be a reward. Y'all hearing this?
Hallelujah.
So the question is, can you endure the night? I need to preach one of them on old kind of apostolic messages, right? Yeah. Can you endure for a night? Right? Can you endure the night? Can you wait? Can you hold out until the joy comes? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, that thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's the whole law right there. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Hallelujah.
But if you don't know who your neighbor is, then you don't know who to love. Your neighbor is your people. Your neighbor is your nation.
Yes.
That's your neighbor. And we have to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Which means I have to prefer you over me. We all got to go into the line together. But go ahead. Go ahead, brother. You go front. I'm going to get right behind. I'm okay. Y'all go head on and I'm going to get in line with you though. I have to prefer you over me. Imagine if all of us start doing that. Preferring one another over ourselves.
Hallelujah.
Y'all both be arguing over who's going to get in the line first, right? It's still going to be something you got to deal with, right? Because one person going to want to outdo the other. No, brother, I said you go. Oh, no, brother, I said you go, bro. No, brother, you go. Brother, no, you go. Now we're fighting over that, right? So we all going to have something to fight about.
Somebody got to let it go.
I remember seeing that episode of the Cosby's where it was Cockroach. He was like, you were supposed to say,
Yeah.
and then I was supposed to say, but the person said it on the first time.
Yeah.
He said, no, man, you go. He was trying to prefer him over himself.
Yeah.
But truly, he wanted to go.
Yeah.
He wanted the ticket to the concert. And he was like, go hit on, man. He was like, man, no, you go hit on. He said, all right, cool. And he went, took the ticket, and went on in. And he was mad at an offense with Theo because he was like, it wasn't supposed to go like that. You were supposed to say that. I was supposed to say this. And then you're supposed to come back one more time. And then I would agree to take it and go hit on in. But he just waited one time. And he said, give me that ticket. I'm gone.
That's right.
And his friend had an offense over that. But we have to prefer our neighbors over ourselves.
Yeah.
All right? That's a part of discipline. That's a part of love. All right? Come on.
By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
See, and the commandment is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. The problem is, majority of the people in the world that's in Israel, they don't love themselves. That's the issue. You don't love yourself. And because you don't love yourself, you make everybody else's life miserable. Because you don't love yourself. But the moment you start loving yourself, you're going to automatically love other people. Do you know how many jokes I've heard about my height? I've been the same height all my life. And guess what? I say, you sure right. Hey, you 5'4". And I say, every bit of it's holy.
That's right. That's right. Love it.
You can't even reach that. No, I can't. So I need you to help me. Go ahead up there and touch that for me.
That's right.
When I get in the back seat of a car, I ain't got to worry about nobody pushing the seat up. I fit perfect. Are y'all hearing that?
That's right.
Because I love myself. I'm the best. You can't outbeat me being John. Nobody can be the best John that I can be.
That's right. That's right.
So I can care less what you think about me.
Yes, yes, come on.
There you go.
What the lady used to say, kiss my grits. What was that movie? What was that? That was a sitcom. She was like, kiss my grits. So that's what I say to anybody talk about me. Because I love myself. So because I love myself, I have to love you. If I wouldn't treat myself bad, I ain't going to treat you bad.
Yeah.
If I'm eating, everybody that's with me going to eat.
That's right. That's the way it should be. That's right.
If I got clothes, everybody with me going to have clothes.
That's it.
You know?
That's the way it should be.
You have to love yourself, though. If you don't love yourself, it's hard. For people that, have you ever been around somebody that don't love themselves? It's hard to deal with people that don't love themselves.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Right.
to deal with people that don't love themselves because they don't see the value in their own self, so therefore they can't see the value in you. They don't see the value in themselves, therefore they can't see the value in you. When you learn how to love yourself, you'll begin to see the value in yourself, and then you'll begin to see the value in others. Y'all hearing that?
Preaching hot, Pastor. Come on with it.
It's a good word so far. Huh? All right, come on.
For this is the love of Yah,
This is the love of Yah.
that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
His commandments are not grievous. You shouldn't always be looking, like the Pharisee with your lip poked out, and always point and always, see, look at what they do. See, look at what they do. Look at what they do. They're going to see an ungodly concert.
Oh, come on.
It's ungodly. Like we can't listen to music now.
Right. Say that.
Ain't nothing but sinners in that place. Well, when you go to Walmart, guess what's that?
Sinners around there.
So what's the difference? You in Walmart,
Right.
and I'm in a concert.
Right. Come on.
What's the difference?
No different.
You listening to secular music. What is secular music?
Right.
It's music, it's
See,
music.
we're the kingdom,
Yeah.
and they brought us over here. So that means all the music they so-called call secular,
Yeah.
and we're performing it and singing it,
Yeah.
that's all our music. Whether it's blues, jazz, R&B, rap, that all comes from our creativity. That all comes from our Elohim. Y'all see what's going on here? Because I used to be like that. Christianity, oh man, you can't.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
of the devil. Everything was of the devil.
Of the devil. Couldn't drink
I was raised like that. Everything was of the devil. I ain't never played cards before. Why? Because that's of the devil. All that's of the devil.
I don't know how to play cards.
See, nobody wants. Listen, the Father did not bring you into this way, into this faith, for you to be miserable and unhappy.
That's it.
Are y'all hearing that? Now, there should be some type of enjoyment and pleasure we get in serving Yah.
That's it.
Because we're his people, and we are the sheep of his pasture. We have to know the guidelines. We have to know what's required of us and what the Father is requiring of us to love and to honor him and to keep his commandments. Because he's telling you, these are his commandments. But he said his commandments are not grievous. So who made the commandments grievous? Somebody must have made his commandments. It had to be the men that was allegedly representing Yah. And they the ones that made the commandments grievous. They put extra stuff on you so that you can be burdened down. Because Yahweh's commandments, they ain't grievous. What is grievous about resting on the Sabbath day?
Nothing at all.
What's grievous about working 6 days a week and then having a vacation, a high Sabbath every Shabbat? See, this is the high Sabbath day. This is the Sabbath. Bible says about forsake not the assembling of yourselves together. Because it's a habit of other people. They have this kind of a manner of just not wanting to come to the Sabbath day, not wanting to assemble yourself. Yeah. And you can't assemble yourself by looking at the internet all the time.
Come on.
No, you have to be around people. Right. Now, if you got another family with you, y'all both fellowshipping one another, looking at the preachers on, then hey, now, Bible says with 2 or 3 are gathered together in his name, he'll be in the midst. And the 2 and 3 is not you and your husband. The 2 and 3 is you, your husband, your children, and then another family of their husband, wife, and then they coming together. It don't have to be a husband and wife, type of situation either. It can be a sister from another family, a brother from another family that come over and fellowship. Now you got the 2 and 3 gathered together. Gathered together in his name. But see, the problem is a lot of people, they just don't want to be around people. Because they truly don't love their neighbor as they love themselves. They love themselves more. So people will stay and away from the fellowshipping and assembling themselves together because of things they may have saw in the ministry. And that keeps them away. But no, don't let that keep you away. You get if you saw something wrong, get another family. Reach out. You can't stop loving and edifying and comforting and building up each other. Because you allow one thing to happen that's going to stop you from fellowshipping with anybody. Do y'all really think that's the will of y'all? You have one bad experience at one ministry. I'm gone. I'm gone from y'all and I'm gone from you. Or they're saying, I'm not going from y'all, I'm just going from you.
Right. I'm not leaving y'all.
See, it's the design of Satan to keep us separated
Yeah.
over little baby stuff. Something ain't even that big of a deal at all. But men make things big. They make things big. They what do they say? They strain at a net or a camel, swat at it, strain at it. And at the same time, they're trying to, keep division and separation going. Because Satan likes division. He don't like unity.
Right.
See, look at them brothers. They over there talking to the Muslims over there. Look at them.
Right.
Look at them. They supposed to be Hebrew.
Right. They saying.
Oh, they over there talking to them Christians over there. But no, look at them. Look at them. They talking. Oh, they over there talking to them people that don't believe nothing. Oh, look at them. Look at them. Oh, they wicked.
Yeah. That's what they saying.
How they gonna know we the children of light if you don't talk to somebody?
Right. You got to share.
Everybody wants this separate mindset. I got to be separate. I got to be separate. I can't talk. I got to leave my family.
Right.
Well, because you did that don't mean I got to do that. Y'all hear that? Some people are just like they that cold-hearted.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all hearing this? Hallelujah. For this is the love of Yah, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous, and he already told you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Come on.
Love
1
suffereth,
Corinthians chapter 13. Come on.
love suffereth long.
Love suffer. See, because we got to do a litmus test to find out if you truly love like the Bible says. Love suffereth short time. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. Love suffereth what? Long. Everybody say long. Long. Well, how long is long, Pastor? Because these folks getting on my nerve, and I'm about to just smack everybody. How long is long? Well, how many times you supposed to forgive somebody if they keep asking for forgiveness? Now, if they don't ask for forgiveness, now did Yeshua hold that against the ones that was crucifying them? He said what? Forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Yes, sir.
But you will say you're a follower of the Messiah, won't you? Up to that point. So love suffereth long. Come on.
And it's kind.
See, it's not only suffereth long, but love is also kind. Some folks are just mean, and they ain't gonna be kind. They just in them. They just mean. Just mean people. They ain't gonna be kind. But love suffereth long, and love is also kind. Come on.
Love envieth not.
Love don't envy. See? I can't envy my brother. I can't envy my sister. Because you in the reward of faith and I'm in the trial of faith. That's why he puts those things up to see what's really in your heart. So how am I going? Man, they look like they got everything going on. Look at them spams. They just got everything going on. Got them a new car with booty warmers. They living off Howard the Hog. And I'm an Israelite saying y'all living like pigs. You see?
Yeah.
They living large and in charge. Man, I want what they got. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Right.
Love ain't gonna envy nobody.
Yeah.
And love doesn't be like, well, I don't care what they got either. No, you rejoice with them that rejoice.
Exactly.
Y'all hearing that?
Amen.
Because somebody take that little example and say, see, out of the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Pastor's making him as an example, so obviously it must be in his heart. You see what I'm saying? People would do all kind of dumb stuff like that. All right? I'm just using an example because I just glanced over at them. All right?
Sure you did.
Right. So, love is kind, and love envieth not. Come on.
Love vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up.
It's not puffed up, it's not vaunted, making itself. Remember the Bible talks about don't let no man think higher than he should think
Yeah.
about himself.
Right.
I've traveled the world. I've talked to everybody in the world. That was important. And I know everything, and you stupid. You sit down and you listen to me. No, that's you bottle yourself up. I can't learn from nobody but you, huh?
Right.
See, the more the Father raises you up, is the more humble you need to be.
That's right.
The more you need to realize that you're really a servant.
Yes.
Servant of Yah. Because there's nobody greater than a servant. And that's what Yeshua said. He came to serve and not to be served. Y'all hear that? Come on.
Doth not behave itself unseemly.
See, it doesn't, love don't behave itself unseemly. But because most people don't know that they're behaving unseemly, they think that this is just a regular everyday norm for them, then they don't understand what unseemly is. You don't act out of character for nobody. But most people are out of character all the time, so that's just the way they act. They're just them. You know, they say whatever they want to say, just come out of their mouth. But they don't realize they're acting and behaving unseemly because they were never trained and taught the right way. Come on.
Seeketh not its own.
It doesn't seek it after its own interest. Come on.
Is not provoked.
It's not provoked. Very important. Love is not provoked. Now, somebody keeps slapping you on both sides of your cheek. Otherwise, you're like, now, you know what? Now you're provoking me. Now, I ain't got that much Jesus in me. I ain't got that much Christ in me. So, hey, brother, today is not the day for you to be provoking me. But love suffereth what? Long. And it's not provoked. Come on.
Taketh not account of evil.
See, some folks got a pad. They say, see, I remember that time you did me this way. I remember that time you did me that way. Remember that time? Remember that time? Remember? And they got a big old long list of every time you did something wrong to them or about them. But love doesn't take account of evil. An account of evil. Okay? Come on.
Rejoiceth not in unrighteousness.
Love doesn't rejoice in unrighteousness. Some folks love to hear the juicy stuff about somebody's life. Ooh, they slipped and fell. Oh, what was wrong with them? What was they thinking? And they're rejoicing in their heart while they're hearing bad news about you.
That's what they do.
Love don't rejoice in unrighteousness. Come on.
But rejoiceth with the truth.
But it rejoices with the truth.
Hallelujah.
Y'all hearing that? Come on.
Beareth all things.
See, love also beareth all things. Come on.
Believeth all things.
It believes the good of all things. Believes all things. Come on.
Hope all things.
Hope all things.
Endureth all things.
Endureth all things. Good and bad. Bad and good. It believes it all. Hope for it all. It wants everything it wants to endure everything. Giving people the benefit of a doubt. That's what love does. Come on.
Love never faileth.
Love will never fail. Never fail. Come on.
But whether there be prophecies, they shall be done away.
Come on.
Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall be done away.
Mm-hmm. All those things going to be done away with, but love never fails. Come on.
For we know in part, and we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect is come, that which is in part shall be done away.
Remember we talked about that last week? When the complete, full picture comes, all the parts are going to be done away with because we're going to see the fullness, the completeness of what the Father was saying in the first place. Okay? Come on.
For when I was a child, I spake as a child.
Yep.
I felt as a child. I thought as a child. Now that I am become a man, I have put away childish things.
Got to put away the childish things because you thought and functioned a certain way. And now the Father's saying, come on up to manhood and put away those childish things. Come on.
For now we see in a mirror darkly, but then face to face, now I know in part. But then shall I know fully, even as also I was fully known.
Come on.
But now abideth faith, hope, love, these three, and the greatest of these is love.
So what's the greatest?
Love.
Love. But a lot of people don't like to have love. They don't like to talk about it, especially in the Hebrew where they want to talk about everything else but love. Let's talk about these curses. Let's talk about these Edomites. Let's talk about all of this, but they don't want to talk about love. So you got to love yourself, then love your people.
Yeah.
Let's talk about loving one another again. Are y'all hearing that?
Yes, sir.
That's why we're going to go around and we're going to start having forgiveness sessions around the country with different states. We're going to go on a forgiveness campaign that we need to forgive one another. And we're going to surround it by music and all that, eating vegan food and all that. We're going to invite people out and say, hey, man, let's forgive one another.
Hallelujah.
We're going to do a tour of forgiveness.
Hallelujah.
What y'all think about that?
Hallelujah.
Creative idea.
Yes.
Let's go around the world and just say, let's forgive one another.
Yeah.
All the camps of Israel just keep having a forgiveness fest where we just forgive one another and then walk in love. Start learning the principles of forgiveness. See, Jubilee was something that we instituted. Jubilee. But we never practiced it. Because that means I got to give back his land. I got to let go of that debt. I got to forgive somebody of something. It's quiet in here now. See, the Jubilee, the thought of it is like, yeah, I'm going to be forgiven. Yeah, I'm going to have to get my stuff back. But when you start thinking about, no, whatever you got to forgive and let go and turn back. Now it's like, oh, I like the idea of stuff coming back to me. I like the idea of me being forgiven. But I don't know if I want to forgive that person for what, because that cut me so deep. See, everybody wants to be forgiven, but it's hard for us to forgive. Especially family members. And we're all supposed to be family if we're Israel. And we're keeping the commandments, right? Because as if they're the be all in all. Y'all hear that? The greatest one is love. Come on. The sole reason why we attack our neighbor is because we do not love ourselves. So that's a good point to write down. All right? The sole reason why we attack our neighbor is because we don't love ourselves. Leviticus 19 and 18. What did it say? Now we're going into the Torah. Let's see what the Torah says.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Woo-wee! How many grudges do you see going on all over the place? Against Israel. Against Israelites, against other Israelites. They bearing a grudge. Come on, what does it say?
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh.
But thou shalt love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you love yourself, hey, I can forgive anybody. And guess what? I have forgiven. Even the ones that slander my name. I forgive you because you don't know what you was doing anyway.
Right.
People making up stories on me all the time. But I forgive them.
Yeah.
And I keep walking in love. Y'all hearing that? That's what it's about. Galatians 5 and 15, what it say?
But if ye bite and devour one another.
See, that's what we like to do. We like to bite and devour one another. And I'm talking to Israelites. We love to bite and devour one another. Come on.
Take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
Let's look at what that word consume means. Consume, G355. Consume means Properly to use up, that is destroy. The word consume literally means destroy. So when you bite and devour one another, ultimately, you're going to be the one destroyed. Ooh-wee. Make you not want to keep that going, right? When you realize that ultimately, you're going to be consumed. You're going to be destroyed by that. So we have to learn how to release it and let it go.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Come on, Galatians 5:16.
This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. But most people are walking in the lust of their flesh, and they think they're walking in the Spirit. Again, that's a part of self-deception. When you think that you're walking in the Spirit, but you're really walking in the lust of your flesh, then we already know it's a self-deception going on. And there's a lot of self-deception going on in Israel. A lot of it. Y'all hearing that? Jayla? Your grandma. Everything is based on what you know and understand. Notice I said what you know and what you understand. I didn't say what you believe. I didn't say what you believe. I said what you know and what you understand. Y'all hearing this? If you know and understand you are a sinner, you're going to continually produce sin. If you know and understand that you're a sinner, if you know that you're transgressing the law, because sin is a transgression of the law. If you keep having that in your mind, man, I'm a sinner, I'm just terrible, I'm not a good person, I can't be this way, if you keep having that in your mind and you know and you understand that, then you're going to continue to produce sin. If you know and understand you're a child of the King, then you will live after and produce his kingdom in your life. How many people are interested in producing the kingdom in their life? Well, you got to know, hey, I'm a child of the King, and I got to know that my sins have been forgiven. But a lot of times it's hard for us to forgive ourselves. See, you did something so bad you can't forgive yourself. You keep kicking yourself. You keep punching yourself. But you got to know that your sins have been forgiven. Go and sin no more. And know that you're a child of the King. And start living after that, and you'll begin to produce the kingdom of Yah in your life. See? That's what happens when you keep focusing on the curses all the time. You start becoming a curse. You should be focusing on it.
Yeah.
But once you say, Abba, forgive me, forgive my ancestors, all the way back to the beginning. Forgive us. I don't want to be that way. I don't walk after. I want to walk in truth. I want to walk in the light of your word. I want to walk as a child of the day. Guess what I'm going to start producing in my life? That. Hallelujah. Matthew 23:1. Watch this.
Then spake Yeshua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat.
See, these scribes and these Pharisees, they're sitting in the seat of Moses as a judge. And all they want to do is judge everybody else, but they themselves don't want to be judged by nobody. And when I talk about being judged, we're dealing with righteous judgment. If you're guilty of the same thing that another person has done, then how can you judge me? Are y'all hearing that? Don't make no sense, does it? So the scribes and the Pharisees, they're sitting in Moses' seat trying to judge somebody, but they hypocrites because they're doing the same thing. And they think don't nobody see them.
Right. Come on.
Throwing rocks and living in glass houses.
Teach, Pastor.
I think Yeshua said, if you without sin cast the first stone, how you going to throw? Are you saying you're sinless? Well, the Bible got a verse for you there. It says, they that say they have no sin is a what?
A liar.
And the truth ain't in them. So if you don't have no sin, then you should be Yeshua.
Right.
You should be floating up in the sky like Enoch, translated, right? We're waiting on the translation
Right.
for you to be translated from death to life, right?
Come on. There you go.
But because we're all with sin, then hey, you got to consider yourself, lest ye fall. Anyway, these scribes and Pharisees, they're sitting in Moses' seat. Come on.
All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe.
Everything they bid you, observe. All right? Observe what they bid you. But even take that with a grain of salt. Because they'll be telling you to do stuff that the Father ain't even saying. If you don't know, if you ain't rightly divided the word for yourself, then you got to be careful even with that. Y'all hearing that? And we know that this is Greek interpretation of what's being said. Come on.
That observe and do.
Come on.
But do not ye after their works.
See? He's letting you know. But do not after their work. Yeah, they bidding you to do some things and observe and do what they're saying with a grain of salt. Do it, but don't do after their works. Don't do what they're doing. So that means you have to have some discernment. Folks that take that scripture and say, see, if the Pharisees, scribes tell you to do something, you just supposed to do it. Well, hold on, I need to rightly divide that. Yeah. Because he's saying that in one instance, and the next instance he says, but don't do after their works. So they could be telling you to do something, but if it don't line up with the book, if it's something of their own will and their own mind, something that they want to do, then he said don't do after their works. Come on.
For they say and do not.
They say and do not. But they'll put you up to it, won't they? Come on.
For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne.
See, those are the, I just already said, my commandments are not what? Grievous. But these Pharisees and scribes, they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, as if there's only one way to do something. Like it's only one way to do something. There's just not just one way to do something. It's not one way to build a house. Why is all these companies building houses all over the place? They ain't all doing it the same way. They got another company now that's coming to Chicago that they're going to be doing everything inside of a warehouse, building the whole house, and then bringing it out and doing the other parts. And they just setting it up like a director said, bam, 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 bam. It's up. Next. Let's go to next. Building everything in the warehouse. They got robots that's going to bring the house and just set it up, bam. Prefab. So I guess we ain't got to be lifting bricks all day then, I guess. Because there are other ways to do things. Are y'all hear what I'm saying? Yes. And then there's easier ways to do stuff.
That's right.
And then you boast, I'm a hard worker. You sure are. But if you knew an easier way, who was the fool then? Are y'all hearing that? See, you're always looking for the easy way out. Now I'm looking for the smartest way. Somebody say the smartest way.
The smartest way.
Work smart, not hard.
Yeah, got to. That's what I was taught. There's a smart way to do things. And if you don't use this, then you don't use your intelligence, then yeah, you keep doing it and breaking your back and your arm and your shoulder and all that. Keep doing it that way. Fill your cup up with that. Are y'all hearing this?
Yes.
For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne. Come on.
And lay them on men's shoulders.
And they lay them on men's shoulders because they ain't going to lift it. Come on.
But they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers.
Y'all hearing this? Hallelujah. Come on, what else they do?
But all their works they do for to be seen of men.
So I guess that's why they do YouTube videos all the time. Just YouTube video with themselves on the video all the time. Because they're doing everything to be seen of men. Are y'all, I mean, it's so obvious.
It's obvious.
Obvious. We're doing a video. I'm doing a video with somebody that I'm interviewing. Tell us about this. Give us the information. Give us your expertise. Y'all hearing that? We're not doing this to be seen to men. We're doing this to get information out to people. And it's not just one person that got the information. There's different people. Again, we talked about last week. Aspects and vantage points. You have an aspect of truth. This person got an aspect of truth. We bring those points together. Man, we're going to have a good vantage point. Because now that truth and that truth, that's supposed to go together. Y'all hearing that?
Yes.
But all their works they do for to be seen of men. Philippians 1:15. What did it say?
Some indeed preach Christ.
Some indeed preach Christ.
Even of envy and strife. And some also of goodwill.
So some people are preaching, even unto envy and strife, and some of goodwill. Come on.
The one preach Christ of contention, not sincerely.
How many people know people like that, right? We all know somebody who's preaching Christ, but they ain't really doing it sincerely. Come on.
Supposing to add affliction to my bonds.
Come on.
But the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel.
So Paul just named, Apostle Saul, he just named different ways that people are preaching the word. Different aspects of people preaching and delivering the truth of the word, whatever. Some of them doing it through strife, contention, whatever. All these things are happening. But some of them are doing it in love. Okay?
What then, notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is preached, and I therein do rejoice,
Yea.
yea, and will rejoice.
So he said whether it's being preached in contention, envy, strife, all of this, or in love, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is being preached. He's being preached because Christ should be the focus. Okay? He said he's going to rejoice. Come on. James 3:9, what he say?
Therewith bless we Elohim, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of Yah.
See, I like James. James is about to get to the heart of the matter. He said, look here. You are cursing men that's made in the likeness of Yah. You're cursing we men which are made after the similitude of Yah. On one hand, that's what we're doing. James going to make it the rubber hit the road. What does it say?
Out of the same mouth proceed blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be.
So how in the world are you going to be cussing out a man that's made in the image of the Elohim, and then you blessing Elohim, say, oh, I love you, Father, I want to do this for you. He said, blessings and curses are coming out of the same mouth.
Bad.
My brother, these things ought not so to be. Y'all hearing this? Folks want to bless, and then they want to curse. They want to bless, then they want to curse. They didn't want to curse, then they want to bless. These things ought not to be. Come on.
Doth the foundation send forth at the same time, at the same place, sweet water and bitter?
Does it? Come on.
Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine, figs?
So can this fig tree bring forth olive berries, vines, sweet figs all at the same time? Come on.
So can no foundation, so can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh?
That's right.
I want to show y'all that picture. Let me show y'all that picture. Because this is in the ocean of salt water and fresh water. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Because this is amazing. He said it's impossible for a foundation to yield both fresh water and salt water at the same time.
They come out of the same pot.
Now, watch this. No, this ain't the one I like. Here's the one I like.
a stunning website. I've already done it with Wix. Let me show you how it's done.
Look at that. Look at that. What y'all see? Fresh water and salt water and a dividing line between those two. They will not cross one another. Now, if you don't tell me there's a yacht, you better don't. Look at this. When y'all look at this, it's in the middle of the ocean. It won't divide. It won't cross. It won't cross over. Amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. Look at it again. There's something else to see. Look at that. Dividing line. Why won't these waters just mix together?
Why don't they do that?
They ain't gonna do it.
That's something.
What if somebody crossed over and broke the line?
Don't make a difference. There's a ship right there. It ain't gonna stop the line. That's amazing. How close they get. I ain't never saw this one before. Look at that. Look like you want to have 1 feet in one of them and 1 foot in the other. Look at that. My. Can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh? What y'all think? Let's go over to the Apocrypha here. As Israelites, we are the people above all people, but unfortunately, we don't act like it. How many people know we're the people of the book? But we don't act like it. We don't act like we're the people of the book. And because we don't act like we're the people of the book, that's an unfortunate reality. We should have a better attitude and outlook for our people. We are here to build each other up, but the majority of these so-called Israelite leaders love to tear people down. And you'll see it all through the internet, tearing this person down, all over the internet. That's what they do. Let me see here. I can't even see what that is. The drug of choice is slander. Everybody say slander.
Slander.
That's the drug of choice. Slander. Hebrew H1681. It means to whisper. It means to defame. It means evil report. It means defamation, defaming, evil report, unfavorable saying. Sometimes that's all folks want to do is slander and do more slander. Defaming somebody's character. Slander is the drug of choice with Hebrew Israelites. They love to pull each other down instead of building one another up. So I said, man, listen, that's the way you doing it. Do what you do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And hey, I'll meet you at the finish line. Are y'all hearing that? Ecclesiasticus 19:6. Let's see what the Apocrypha say. What it say?
He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife.
The one that can rule his tongue, that you can actually live without strife? You mean to tell me I don't have to have strife to prove that I'm a Hebrew or an Israelite, or to prove, because the Bible talks about beware when all men speak well of you. But this is saying, hey, when you learn how to rule your tongue, you can live without strife. Y'all hearing this? It's possible to live without strife, but you got to know how to rule your tongue. And most people don't know how to rule their tongue. Come on.
And he that hated babbling shall have less evil.
I don't like babbling. I don't like people getting up and just talking, whatever, just saying, whatever, just talking, whatever's on their mind, they just come out of their mouth. They don't have organized thoughts. Y'all been in churches like that where the preacher get up and start preaching, and he went from talking about the hole in the ceiling and the pipe had to be fixed outside, the concrete, and then he went to talking about everything, just babbling, going on, and you just sat there and you were just,
He's ready to go home.
amen, Pastor. Amen. And in your mind, you say, well, what is he talking about? And then for a minute, you zone out. And then you went somewhere else in your mind. You way over here, you way. And then you come back to yourself like, now, what is he talking about now? Anybody been in places like that? Nothing is just like the same conversation, the same, message. Just stay with the message, bro. Stay right there. Don't. But they go off to all these other little sex places. And it's hard to pull them out, especially when they get on something that's really bothering them, and then they stay on that point. I'm going to just hammer this in there. I hate babbling, so I want to live with less evil. Y'all hear that?
That's right.
Hallelujah. Ecclesiastes 19:7. What did it say?
Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee.
Uh-oh. I guess everybody blew it on that one. Hey, I'm going to tell you something, sister. Or brother. I don't want you to tell nobody, though. I won't tell nobody. Ain't that what you say? That's a covenant you just made. Because you said you wouldn't tell nobody. But as soon as they get out of your presence, let me get on the telephone. Guess what so-and-so told me? You won't believe it. Guess. I said guess. This is juicy, baby.
Oh, wow.
But this verse says, rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee. Come on.
And thou shalt fare never the worse.
Telling you, you ain't gonna fare never the worse if you learn how to hold what was said to you. Gossip can't spread no farther unless you bring it. Rumors and gossip. Some people love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That program my wife liked to watch about them churches, Greenleaf.
Oh.
Love the drama of the church, boy. Oh, look at that. They going backstabbing one another, going, oh, wait. All of that's going on in the churches every day.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be going on here.
No, it should not.
So if somebody come to tell you something, then hold it. Can we practice this? Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee. I'm telling you, it's going to make us a whole nother level of people. Because somebody tell me something, I can hold it. It's not for everybody. I'm going to hold what was said to me. Now, if the person's going around telling everybody, and you're in a conversation with somebody else that wasn't them, and they say, hey man, the sister did that. They told you that? Okay. So obviously, this person's going around telling everybody. That's something different. But if that person comes to you telling you something, you ought to practice not to rehearse it.
Right.
Preachers hear all the stuff going on with members and stuff happening going on. You need to have confidence that that won't be rehearsed. But guess what? Some people ain't got no integrity, but they'll preach on integrity, talk about integrity, but they can't hold nothing. They can't wait to get on the phone to tell. Just like women. Some of these preachers are just like them. They can't hold nothing. Ecclesiastes 19:8, what did it say?
Whether it be to friend or foe.
Uh-oh. Whether it be to friend or foe. Somebody that's against them. Don't rehearse it. Woo-wee. Don't rehearse it to the friend or the foe. What did it say?
Talk not of
Talk
other men's
not.
lives.
Come on, say it again.
Talk not of other men's lives.
Don't be talking about other men's lives. Talk not of other men's lives. So now you have seen that you have sinned and transgressed. So you need to repent. How's that? Because all of us have talked about somebody's life when we shouldn't have. Now you got the verse and the scripture.
Hallelujah.
Come on, y'all might say, Father, forgive me. I did that. I'm guilty. Guilty. And if thou, come on, read that one.
And if thou canst without offense reveal them not.
And if thou canst without offense reveal them not. Don't reveal the person that this happened to. Don't do it. Reveal them not. Guard it. Ain't that something now? That's a good verse. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 8. Ecclesiastes 19 and 10. What did it say?
If thou hast heard a word, let it die with thee.
Woo-wee! Somebody can't do that. Well, ooh, I heard something, and I gotta get it out. I gotta tell it all. I gotta tell it. If thou hast heard a word, let it die with. How many people are guilty of not doing that? Just keep looking straight ahead. You know? I didn't let that word die with me. But see, that's a different kind of honor and respect now, don't it?
Yeah.
See, your business won't be all in the street if people would learn how to do this. See, there's always a word that's going to challenge everybody. See, there's going to be a word that's going to challenge the one who say that they perfect. Ain't it? Well, how you did this? Well. You see what I'm saying? Even the one that say they ain't sitting Moses' seat, this word is going to challenge them. Because we've all guilty of it. We didn't let the word die. We couldn't wait to tell somebody else. Come on. It says, let it die with thee.
And be bold, it will not burst thee.
In other words, be bold. It ain't going to burst you, even though you feel like, oh, I'm going to burst if I don't get this word. Sister Pierce, I got to tell you. I got to tell Mother, I saw something. And guess what? The person that's receiving it, you need to say, no, don't tell me nothing.
Right.
But what you going to do? Oh, what? What? And then after you hear it, oh, sister, you shouldn't have told me. I got to clean my ears out and my spirit. You just, but have y'all ever heard a word that really just messed you up? And I mean, you didn't know that person was going to say it, and they brought it to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, and you want to say this, man, this has just really messed my day up. I did not know that about that person.
Right.
But now you didn't, I lost my appetite. I can't even eat. There are words like that people, things that people have revealed to other people, and people can't wait to dump it on you. And I stop people. Wait. I'm not a dumping truck. Don't dump here on me. Stuff that I don't want to hear. Stuff that's about my friend. That's about people I know. I don't want to hear it.
No.
Stop. Time out. Now, if you're about to talk about somebody in a negative way and you're not looking to find a solution to the situation, then don't tell me.
Right.
Don't just defame their character and who they are just to be defaming their character under the guise of you trying to work it out. Because we have people that do that too. They'll come on and say, I'm going to tell you about this sister. Let me tell you what she did to me. That was offended me. And then they go into all the stuff that they did. And they say, well, do you want a solution? You want to rectify? No, I don't want to rectify nothing with them. They can't tell me nothing because they didn't just, that was the last straw. That was the camel, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So why did you tell me all that? I just had to get it off my chest.
No.
I want to know what kind of member you had.
Look at that.
If thou hast heard a word, let it die with thee and be bold. It will not burst thee. So all of us are guilty of breaking the law. So what do? We repent and we turn from that way and begin to do what the book says.
Try to keep the garbage out.
That's it. Keep the garbage out. Ecclesiastes 19 and 11, what did it say?
A fool travaileth with a word as a woman in labor of a child.
A fool does. They travail with a word. As a woman in labor of a child. Come on.
As an arrow that sticketh in a man's thigh, so is a word within a fool's belly.
Woo! Way! I don't know why y'all ain't saying, Ecclesiasticus. It said, as an arrow that sticketh in a man's thigh. Can't you see that in your mind? You can see that, can't you? So is a word within a fool's belly. Man, y'all should be like, whoa, I got to read that book. That's a good book. There is a difference between slandering and admonishing. There is a difference between slandering and admonishing. Let's find out the difference. Admonishing. G3560, it means to warn, means to admonish, means to exhort. Slandering, remember that word, what that meant. That didn't mean to warn or to exalt anything. Exhort anything. It just meant to tear down, tear them up and defame their character. Remember? So there's a difference in slandering and admonishing somebody. Because you want them to turn from a way that's unrighteous. You can admonish a person without slandering a person. Y'all hearing that?
Yes.
Admonishing means to caution or reprove gently. Admonish, warn. This is a good word.
Yeah.
We're eating today. Ecclesiastes 19:13. What did it say?
Admonish a friend.
Admonish a friend. Come on.
It may be he has not done it. And if he had done it, that he do it no more.
Are y'all hearing this? You're supposed to warn or admonish a friend, if you so-called call him that. Because he might not have done what he's been accused of. Or she's been accused of. You know what? They might not have done. Has that ever hit your mind that they just ain't done what's being said? See, some people love to believe the worst about everybody. And that's that pessimistic kind of mindset. They love to believe the negative. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. Y'all ever heard that before? You hear something? Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I just knew it. I knew that they wasn't right. I knew it. It was something down in my Noah. And I knew that they was just like what was said. And they have no idea. They don't even know the person. I don't even know the person. They ain't ever talked to them. They had a conversation whatsoever at all. So admonish a friend. What else it say? 19 and 14. What it say?
Admonish thy friend. It may be he has not said it, and if he have, that he speak it not again.
Ooh. So admonish him, because he might not have did it. Admonish him, he might not even, or they might not even said it.
Right.
But if they did, you admonish them, warn them, reprove them gently, and they won't do it no more. You got it. His commandments are not what? Grievous. But this is hard to do for people, because some people got so much venom and poison in their heart, and they want to sock it to somebody, boy. Sock it to them. I got it. Everything is like that in their life. I got you. I got you. I gave them an uppercut. All that kind of crazy stuff. But you admonish a friend. Come on, admonish a friend, 19 and 15.
Admonish a friend, for many times it is a slander, and believe not every tale.
Believe not every tale. Because chances are it's nothing but a slander. Has anybody been slandered before ever? Your character?
Yes.
That wasn't how the story went. That wasn't how it happened whatsoever at all. So when things are not true, guess what? You don't even have to speak on it. Because it just ain't true. Y'all hearing that?
Yes.
Many times it is a slander. Many times. No, sometimes.
Many.
The majority of the time, it's a what?
Slander.
That's all folks want to do. They love that. Because they ain't got nothing better to do. They ain't got nothing going on in their life. They ain't headed nowhere. Many times it's a slander. Believe not every tell.
Yes.
Ecclesiastes 27:23. What did it say?
When thou art present, he will speak sweetly and will admire thy words.
Come on.
But at the last, he will ride his mouth and slander thy sayings.
Ooh-wee. They'll speak sweetly. Anybody doing it? Okay. All right.
Rise up.
Make continual twisting, squirming movements, or contortions of the body. Ride. Respond with great emotional or physical discomfort to a violent or unpleasant feeling or thought. Ride.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
Unpleasant feeling.
Any more?
To twist or bend out of shape.
To twist or to bend
Out of shape.
out of shape
Or position.
or position.
Distort.
To distort.
Contort.
To contort.
About as in pain.
As about in pain. So they doing all that to get their story out. They this really happened. And they did this. And just,
Nothing.
it takes all of that to slander. You got to make the story be so believable, boy. To folks be like, oh, we gonna pray for, you know, get that all facts.
Yeah, they like that. Some of them.
So they distort what's happening, what's going on, just so they can get that all I knew. And slander thy sayings. This is how we should be as Israelites. So y'all just saw how we shouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
But this is how we should be as Israelites, as it is regards into communication that will edify one another. Because we should be about edifying, you know. Hey, I get edified when my brothers are oxen. Since they call me up and they be like, hey, brother, I got a scripture for you. And they give me that word, like, whoa, that word may have cut me better than them giving me a story and telling me something. They just may call me, give me a scripture. Hey, I got a scripture for you, brother. Bam, and they give me that scripture. Whoa, man, that's sharp right there.
Hallelujah.
I like that word, brother.
Yes.
That hit me. I needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cut me, but it admonished me all at the same time. It built me up. Y'all hear that?
Yes.
This is how we should be as Israelites. Proverbs 4:23. What did it say?
Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
See, most people don't keep their hearts. Most people let their hearts get out of control. And they start saying whatever they want to say, whatever on their mind. And I didn't let this go too long. And I've been holding this in too long. And I've been wanting to tell you for the first time I laid eyes on you that you ain't right. And it feels good to finally get a chance to say that.
Oh my.
But it says, keep their heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Y'all getting it?
Yes.
A lot of times, the heart of the problem is really the problem with the heart.
Yes, sir.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Y'all like that one?
Yeah.
The problem with the heart is a heart problem. The heart of every problem is truly the problem with the heart. The heart is out of order. The heart is out of whack. It's not in line with the book at all. Something wrong with the heart. Something's going on with the heart. Proverbs 4:24. What did it say?
Put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee.
Put away from thee a frownward mouth. Look up the word frown. Frownward. Look up the word frownward.
Froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee.
Put away from thee a frownward mouth. Look up the word frown. Frownward. Look up the word frownward. Look it up in one of the dictionaries real quick. Put away from thee a frownward mouth. See, we talked about the other kind of mouth that was distorted and twisted and contorted and all that. What's a frownward mouth?
Suffering.
All right, we'll wait.
So, a person difficult to deal with.
A person difficult to deal with.
Contrary.
A person who's always contrary.
Habitually disposed to disobedience and opposition to someone or something like law.
Ooh, a person that is habitually what?
Disposed
Disposed
to
to disobedience
and opposition
and opposition
to
to
someone
someone
or
or something
like the law.
like a law.
Man.
Put away from thee a frownward mouth. And what else? Perverse lips. Put far from thee. We got to put something away, don't we? Proverbs 4:25. What did it say?
Let your eyes look forward and your eyelids look straight before you.
A lot of people don't do that. People want to see what's going on over there. Ooh, I was going this way, but what's going on? What? You driving in the car, see a disturbance way over there. What are the fire trucks doing? What the police officers doing over there? What's going on? Gabriel's delay. I had a revelation about that years ago. I was on my way to work, and the line in the car was just long, and all these people going slow. I'm like, it's usually never an accident right here. What has happened? What is going on? And all of a sudden, it got to a certain point, and everybody started driving fast. And we just started driving. And then I looked over to the other side. It was an accident on the other side. But everybody on my side wasn't no accident. Everybody was gaping, trying to see, going slow. Ooh, wait. I hope they're all right.
Not paying attention to what's ahead of them.
And the traffic slowed down on my side because everybody's looking on the other side trying to find out what happened. You clearly see it was an accident.
Yeah.
And I came up with a message. And that message was, gapers hinder the flow. Hey, you know that preach, won't it? See, you trying to flow in your life, and then you got a gaper that's hindering your flow. Say yeah. You ought to pop that gaper in the back of the head and say, get out of here, gaper. Stop. Pay attention to the road.
Get out the way.
Blow your horn. Blow it. And don't let up. Just stand on it and keep blowing the horn. Say, wake up. Gapers hinder the flow. You trying to get a flow in the spirit. Come on. And you got folks in front of you just looking around, spectating. Come on. Gapers hinder the flow. So let your eyes look forward and your eyelids look straight before you. That's hard to do sometimes, ain't it? Because there's so much going on around us that is trying to pay and get your attention, trying to draw your attention away. I be telling my son, I said, y'all are overly stimulated.
Yeah.
You can't put your phone down for a second to go take out the garbage. You still got it.
You're right.
Oh my goodness. I don't understand.
You're right, Pastor.
I got this. Knock the phone up there. Why would you do it?
Just put it down. They can't.
Go wash the dishes. Okay. Get over there. Put the earphones in their little jack. Earphone, got the water just running.
Yep.
And they
Function.
laying up against the car. Water just rising up. Water just rising up. I said, you need to put the earphones in your ear just to wash the dishes.
Gotta go put it down.
Get it in. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Always need a stimulant.
Yep.
Something to look at, something to hear, something to, man,
Yep.
what's wrong with this generation?
Put it down.
said that millions of times.
Proverbs 4:26, what it say?
Consider the path of your feet.
Consider the path of your, this is wisdom talking now.
Yes, it is.
We've been listening to wisdom. Consider the path of your feet,
And all your ways are established.
and all your ways are established. How many people want their ways to be established?
Yeah.
Well, you got to consider the path of your feet. You got to consider where you're going.
Yeah.
Proverbs 4:27.
Do not turn to the right or the left. Turn your foot away from evil.
Turn your foot away from evil. You got to turn your foot away from evil. And I'm so glad I turned my foot away from evil. Hallelujah. I'm so glad. Proverbs 14:30, what it say?
A sound heart is the life of the flesh.
A sound heart. A lot of people don't have a sound heart, though. They got a problem with their heart. But they're so deceived, self-deception has set in. They think their heart is sound by the things that they say and believe and speak. Okay? But a sound heart is what? Is the life of the flesh. Come on.
But envy the rottenness of the bones.
But envy is the rottenness of the bones. Proverbs 16:24. Come on.
Pleasant words are as a honeycomb.
That's what pleasant words do. They're sweet. There's a honeycomb. Come on.
Sweet as the soul.
Sweet to the soul. Come on.
And help to the bones.
And it's health to the bones when you're giving pleasant words. How do people prefer pleasant words?
Yes.
First thing in the morning, you don't want anybody hollering, screaming at you, do you?
No.
No.
You want somebody to talk to you sweet and nice, say, hey, good morning, how you doing?
Yes.
Not all I did. Don't speak, just walk past you.
That's hard.
Got the devil in him. Oh, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? What the heck happened to you?
Purpose of that.
Good morning.
Right.
Book of Toe. My Shalom Kai. How do you feel? We can tell how you feel because you ain't even speak. Children getting up in the morning.
Right. Don't say nothing.
Got their earphones in there.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Say good morning. Just walk. Oh,
Right.
good morning. Good morning. You know, I was in my stimulant. I was in my overly stimulated self, in my way. But pleasant words are as a honeycomb. Good morning. How you doing? You had a good night's sleep? Did you have a dream? Tell me about it. What you dream about? Nothing. Pleasant words. Shabbat shalom. Did y'all get something out of that?
Hallelujah.
Community.